Haginisiga. Hello, everyone. I hope you are having a wonderful Wednesday. Today is episode 2 of my 5-day series of the journey of becoming our best self. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about my journey and how I learned what my current reality was in my life and how I pursued to learn from that and move forward and become the best version of myself. So when I was 16, I was going through a really bad depression. I wasn't able to feel or love myself. I was dealing with self-worth issues. And I know a lot of us out there are dealing with self-worth issues at this time. And my advice is to look in the mirror and tell yourself, I love you. And keep doing it. And do it until you believe it. And do this every day. So in my journey, I had to reflect and think about what was working for me and what wasn't. At that time, the only thing that was working for me was my spirituality, being able to have a connection with my creator, and really relying on him to pull me out of what was going on in my life. And so that was the one thing that really helped me on my journey. Another thing was working on showing up for myself and really putting my 100% into whatever I was trying to do at that time, whether that was when I was working on my grant or working on even just the small thing of loving myself. And so when you discover your current reality, really focus on how you're feeling and focus on how your actions or you're reacting to what's going on around you. Because by acknowledging this, that is where you start to shift and you're going to be able to make a change and learn how to develop yourself so you don't have to react that way, or your cognitive thoughts and emotions are creating you to block yourself. So really think about your reality right now, or even in your healing journey. Where were you in that point where that made you pivot to a different direction? So I want you to think about what worked for you, what didn't work. And then I also want you to start focusing on releasing your emotional baggage. For me, that was the most life-changing event that I started to do, and I still do it to this. I'm still working on myself. By doing that and releasing your trapped emotions, by releasing those trapped energies in the body, it's going to allow you to start behaving differently. You're not going to react. I used to have really bad PTSD and panic attacks every day. And by releasing these emotions that were inherited and these emotions that I was feeling like unworthy, overwhelmed, anxiety, panic, these are all different emotions that you can release from yourself. So what you want to do is go and look up the book, The Emotion Code by Dr. Bradley Nelson. And in the back of the book, he has a chart that has 60 different emotions on there that are the most suppressed in the body, and really hone in on discovering what those emotions are. And so I have this, and I'll show you what it looks like. So this is what the emotion code chart looks like. And how you do this is through muscle testing. And if you don't know how to muscle test, YouTube will be your best friend in this. I also have videos on my channel on how to muscle test. But what you'll do is you'll figure out what emotion you're holding, and you'll find out what age that emotion occurred at, whether it was anxiety, failure, grief, self-abuse, taken for granted, unworthy, shame. Once you acknowledge that emotion, you'll be able to release it. And how you release it is imagining light flowing from the top of your head to your feet to really envision letting that go. And when I do this, I do install positive energy back into my body, because as you remove, you need to install that positive, because you'll have like a reaction and you don't want to have a reaction to releasing that negative thing. So when you're developing your new best version of yourself. Take in what you were experiencing in your life and start to make a change. And when you're making a change, it doesn't have to be the super intense thing. It could be you're going to start by meditating every morning. Okay, the next week, you're going to start working out and meditating. Or you can do the other. And then start thinking about what are you grateful for? Then start setting your intentions for the day of this is how I want to become that self. So what are my actions that I'm going to take daily to become that? So start doing that. This week, your challenge is to start meditating every day. Next week, challenge is to meditate and do some sort of exercise. But by doing these, you will already start shifting and you'll feel lighter and you'll have clarity and you will feel amazing. So that is today's episode on becoming your best version of yourself. And I hope you learned something from this video. Comment below and tell me one thing that you got out of it and what you're going to do to start shifting and becoming your best self. Love you all. Have a great rest of your day. And I'll talk to you tomorrow for day 3.